Welcome everybody to the basement stream. We got a full crew on deck. We got JMV to my left. We got Kendall to my right. You got Threat in the bottom, 416J and Alex. What's going on, y'all? How we feeling today?
We still hype. But we got Buffalo.
Yeah, damn right. We got Buffalo. All right. But first of all, before we start the stream, we got a lot to talk about. But JMV, please tell the people what the deal is.
Well, we got to pay the bills. Justin, can you put up the sponsor? We got to pay the bills. The primary sponsor of the basement, Simple Health Advisors. Insurance doesn't need to be complicated. Email them or give them a call today and tell them the basement sent you. We do this every stream. Make sure you support.
All right, so obviously, Dolphins sitting at 2-0 right now, coming off a big-ass win against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I wasn't here for the post-game stream, but I know some of you guys were here, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts. First of all, like, things are calming down a little bit. Now it's Bills week. But, yo, that win last Sunday, I mean, I'm still not over it. Even though I know it's Wednesday right now, we should be looking at Buffalo. But I want to hear all you guys' thoughts on the game. JMV, I'll let you go first with that.
Well, I mean, I think I speak for everybody here when I say at halftime or right before halftime with the second pick, we all hit rock bottom, the entire Miami Dolphins fan base. But that didn't last long because the offense, Mike McDaniel, great game planning and changing the offense for the second half. Everything clicked in the second half. It was great. And you can tell Baltimore's the secondary, they were tired. Chasing Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill the entire first half. You can tell in the fourth quarter, and it was a huge win, monumental comeback, historic comeback, and great game for Tua. Hopefully, gives him a lot of confidence, and he can build off of it.
Threat, your thoughts on the game on Sunday?
Come back to me. I'm looking at something right quick. Come right back to me.
All right, 416, talk to me.
A lot like JMV, man. Right when the halftime hit, everyone's kind of down in the dumps. And then obviously in the fourth quarter, still down 35-14. Obviously, we scored that one touchdown. And then there's hope. There's a little bit of hope left, right? And, man, now I've calmed down a little bit. Like, we're putting the brakes on it. But I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was all over this Dolphins team. I still kind of am. I have a lot more confidence going into this Bills week than I had before, and especially at halftime. The fact that we came back down from that much leads me to believe we can play with anyone. Obviously, we'll have to see it, and this week will be very telling. But, again, I was just so excited to kind of watch that game and be a part of that because, to me, at least, I'm an 0-2, so that's probably one of the best Dolphins games I've ever watched personally. So it was really fun to watch.
I mean, I saw you on your little YouTube, man, going crazy. Listen, that was the best game I've seen. I was actually at that game. Definitely the best game I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's going to be hard as hell to top that. But Mr. Optimism himself, Alex, I know you was going crazy. I mean, tell me about your feeling following that win.
Well, the post-game stream, I had no voice. I was freaking out. I was drinking the Kool-Aid, and that's all I've been drinking the last couple of days is the freaking Kool-Aid. I'm a big believer right now. I can't lie. We got to see what happens on Sunday. It's the biggest measuring stick we're going to have here. I'm not saying we got to win, but I think we have a chance to win. And before, at the beginning of the season, I think all of us, when we were doing the preview, for the whole season, we all just kind of brushed past the Bills game. We were like, that's tough. Let's talk about the Cincy game. Let's talk more about a different game. But now it looks like we have an offense that is capable of going toe-to-toe with anybody. And yes, it's about Tua. Yes, it's about Mike McDaniel. Yes, it's about the receivers. But everyone was doing the little things last week. Teron Armstead, Alec Ingold, we just had dudes make plays after play on Sunday. And it was really refreshing to see because I could not tell you the last time we had an offense that not only was capable of doing it, but actually did it. I don't know the last time I watched an offensive experience. I mean, it felt like how we felt during the Miami Miracle, but it actually means something because that team was already done. Felt like how when Jay Ajari ran for 200-plus yards against Pittsburgh, that's just how it felt. We had something that your team can't match, your team can't beat. And, again, we haven't felt that very often. So I was pumped. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and I think it's going to be a fun game Sunday.
Listen, I had zero hope that we was going to win that game. And the way it started, I had zero faith that we was coming back. And I was there in person. I'm like, damn, should I leave? But listen, I had some culture in me, so I stuck it through. But listen, the two OGs have yet to speak. We need to hear from y'all. You guys keep it real all the time. I got to hear. Let me start with Kendall. Your thoughts. Are you hyped up with this 2-0 start? They still got to show you more.
I'm hyped up. Yeah, from what I saw, definitely for them receivers. I definitely didn't hit rock bottom at halftime because I was already there. Like, I don't have no faith. I'm a Dolphins fan. I am like I seen enough to know that them boys will break your heart. So it was nice to see them finish the deal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things I didn't like what I saw, especially from the defense, but yeah, this just raised the expectations for Tua for me. Like, I mean, a lot of people was in our chat when I said, 4,300, 38 touchdowns, and like 12 picks, and people thought I was crazy. I was like, wait, them MVP numbers, and I'm like, yeah, he got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and we just saw a fourth quarter. Yeah, that boy he's stuck right now. He in Antarctica with it. We saw like them boys just go crazy, and it's Yak boys like seeing that run after catch, seeing that type of stuff. It's exciting. Do I think we can go toe to toe with anybody? Nah, I ain't where Alex at. We ain't like that. They got to show one quarter of football ain't gonna change my mind, but it definitely like got me ready for this Buffalo game. Like, if it's any time to like go ahead and like put a stamp on it, it's now. And that was a big time win. And shout out to Tua, because bruh, like, I don't fuck with bruh at all, but bruh did his thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he passed step one, because these next 3 games, they're big for him, man. Like, I even said it on the last stream. After these next 3 games, all the shows gonna compare his numbers over these 3 games to Lamar, Josh Allen, and Burrow, and they're gonna say this is why he isn't, or they're gonna be like, do the Dolphins have something? So far, step one, he passed it. He held his own. So now it's time to go up against the second best quarterback in the league. Like, and if you can hold your own, we're gonna see.
Yeah, the opportunity is right there for him. I mean, if he could get this dub right here and play a good game, I mean, sheesh. But Threat, let's hear from you. Your thoughts on Sunday's game.
Listen, dog, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all boys, man. I have never in my life, bruh, rewatched a game that many fucking times. I cannot stop rewatching that shit. I text Kendall earlier, dog. Hearing Kevin Harlan's voice, dog, is the icing on the cake. He made that shit 10 times better than what it actually was, and it was already lit. You know what I'm saying? I tweeted out earlier in the season, before the season started, I tweeted out in training camp, this is gonna be a quick hitting team, bro. Like, we gonna punch you in your mouth on some of these drives, and we gonna be off the field in 5 plays. I'm gonna bring the tweet up later down the day, but if you look back at some of these scoring drives, bro, you got the first TD drive, 6 plays, 94 yards. We going 94 yards in 6 plays, bro. That is crazy. That's not normal, bro. You can only do that if you got a speedster on your team. And that's what we saw from Waddle on the opening on that first TD drive. Then you go back and you look later at some of these drives to end the game. 1 minute and 24 seconds of possession, 5 plays, 59 yards, TD Hill. Then you go to the very next one. 1 minute and 27 seconds of time of possession, 3 plays, 64 yards, bro. 3 plays, 64 yards. And then, of course, the 2-minute drill, Tua taking command of the offense, doing what he got to do. 2 minutes and 4 seconds, 6 plays, 68-yard drive, touchdown, bro. This offense is explosive, bro. And everybody kind of had that feeling that this was going to be an explosive offense, bro. But when you really see it, when we are scoring touchdowns in under 6 plays, that is scary, bro. Like, these are over 50-yard drives, bro, and we're scoring in less than 6 plays. I mean, I'm ecstatic right now. Bring me Buffalo, man. That's all I could think of.
Hey, say no more. Say no more. I like the vibes right there, man. Listen, and I saw a couple of your tweets, which were spot on. You were talking about Tua coming through on 3rd down, and that was big time. I mean, time and time again, pressure on the line, 3rd down, bam. I'm like, damn. That was in the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter. Under pressure, it don't matter. Like, he was moving in the pocket. Yeah, he was going through his progressions and everything. So, I mean, Tua, listen, and throughout that first half, man, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I was done. like after seeing that second interception, I was on the verge where I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. But listen, he proved me wrong, proved the whole fan base that was doubting him wrong. What he did for me, honestly, he basically proved to me like, yo, let me go through my season and like judge me after my season. Let me go through it and see if I'm the guy or not. But there's no more like middle of the game us saying like, yo, he ain't it. Like that, for example, I'm one guy that did that, and I'll be honest with you. But Kendall, I'll go to you. You've been, really highly critical about Tua, rightfully so, because he hasn't shown us and hasn't lived up to, being the top 5 pick. Now, this game was a start. It was something we love to see. Where do you feel with Tua now? Like, are you stamping him? Is he the guy, or does he still have things to show you?
Is he the guy? For me, absolutely not. He got to show me a lot more. Like I said, you got 2 more big time opportunities. Like, bro, go hold your own. You feel me? Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I told Third this earlier. I would prefer to like in a win versus Buffalo be like 21 or 28 and like 240, 2 touchdowns, and then we run for like 130 yards. Like, I would be more excited about that than seeing him have to carry, like, be the offense, because I don't think that's sustainable. Like, if we were to see, well, we will see Buffalo again. I think that if we don't have a running game to like go with our passing offense, their defense is good enough to like stop us the second time. But what he did was like he just I'm a cool on him. Like, it's like, how can you not? And it just raised the expectation, like, for me, like, and what I've been saying is like, bro, like, show me something. That's all I've been asking for. Show me something. And the only thing that this fan base really had, like, was the Arizona game, bro. Like, and now we could bury that. You know what I'm saying? That was
Arizona game.
It would start 2. You feel me? It's like we could put that to bed. And now it's just like, and I'll tell you this, like I said this, if he does what he has to do these next 3 games, like, he definitely has a clean slate with me. Like, because now he has all these things around him that we saw year 2 Herbert have, and Joe Burrow. Like, neither one had a line in their rookie years. Burrow got hurt, still don't really have a line. Herbert, like, he had all the weapons coming in, you know what I'm saying? So it's like easier for him to like take advantage of the game. But now Tua has a even playing field, and he 2 games in, he's doing his thing. Like, yeah, he had them boneheaded decisions, and he always was hung out to dry by Waddle on another one, which is funny because if he catches that or if that gets picked, then the comeback don't happen, in my opinion. So it let me chill on him, and it's just like, all right, do it again. Like, that's just all I'm at, because I'm not stamping no. It's gonna take a long time for him to be stamped by me. I'm a 2-year guy. Like, you got to do 2 years of consistent high play for you to be stamped by me. So that's gonna be a long time. But if he handled his own against Buffalo and Cincinnati, especially against Buffalo, it's like, all right, bro. Like, win one of those 2 games, holding your own, like carrying your weight, and it's the tip of the hat. But if he carries, then it's just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Especially against Buffalo, it's really like, okay. Like, I'm really tuned in then.
Facts. I mean, the ball's on his field, but all that's fair enough, no doubt. Alex, I'll go to you. Where do you stand on with Tua following that performance on Sunday?
The biggest thing that I keep coming back to for Tua, and I understand, like, he had an incredible performance, and I've tried to cool my jets a little bit, but I keep coming back to his 3rd down and his 4th quarter numbers. Like, when shit matters the most, he is delivering. Like, Threat, you mentioned it on Twitter, and I thought it was one of the most important tweets that was circulating that day. 4 touchdowns on 3rd down, and 3rd down and long in particular is just – that's not what we were seeing the first 2 years. In fact, it's the polar opposite. We were not seeing these big-time plays and these big-time throws. I mean, Tua has the highest career fourth quarter touchdown percentage of anybody in the last 30 years. I mean, when the 4th quarter's on, that's when he gets the most touchdowns he gets. And I think that has to mean something to me. And again, we're like 8-1 in his last 9 starts. And I know that's over 2 coaches, but the more I keep looking into it, I just think, why is this team going to lose games, right? Why are we going to lose games when we can do things like this? And he was pushing the ball downfield, 4 of 4 on go routes for 121 yards and like 2 touchdowns or something like that. I mean, all we were saying was he's not pushing the ball downfield. And it made me come back to like a Trent Dilfer quote. And if y'all remember this when he was in college, but Trent Dilfer said that Tua was the best 4 verticals quarterback he had ever seen. And we had not seen that the first 2 years, and you were getting a glimpse of it. But, man, the number one thing I keep coming back to with Tua is that we needed Mike McDaniel here, man. We needed it because Tua's attacking the middle of the field now with Jalen Waddle. He's putting balls in places, where it needs to be, right? With Mike Gesicki, that play that I know some people are saying is an overthrow or things like that. I think Matt Hasselbeck said it. That's an us or nobody throw. And if that sails out of the back of the end zone, you kick the field goal, or you let your most athletic vertical player that is on the offense make a freaking play. And that's what he did. So I thought Tua just balled out. And again, this kid just keeps responding to shit. And again, I think Mike McDaniel said in the press conference, his second interception, where Nano, you said, or JMB, you talked about how we hit rock bottom. Like 100%, that throw, I think even Mike McDaniel said it, was the worst pick that he's thrown since Mike McDaniel started working with Tua. And for him to come back and do that and lead this team and not press and feel confident in himself, have some of that swagger, do the ice in the vein celebration. I hate saying Alabama Tua because I think it's dumb because we want progression. We want more than Alabama Tua, but he was doing some of it. That spin move was no joke. I mean, that's a free rusher that you got to make miss. And people were saying he can't move, got no wiggle. You make a free rusher miss and you throw to a fourth string wide receiver. I mean, that's real stuff. That's big time. And he really showed the accuracy as well on Sunday, I think, as well. The ball placement, everything like that. And it was just really, really good to see. Like everyone's been saying, we just needed him to show us something. And I want to see it for 4 quarters. I want to see it for 2 halves. But, I mean, to be able to do that just tells me he is capable of doing anything. And like you said, it raises the standards. It raises the bar for him now because everyone's going to look at this game and be like, well, you know, how could you do this against Baltimore but not against the Jets? How could you do this against Baltimore and not against, you know, Pittsburgh when we play them later, and Cincinnati and some of these other teams? So it's going to be interesting to see, man. But I'm just glad we saw something, and I'm glad that that's the best one I've seen in my life. I'm born in 2000, so only thing I could compare to that was the Miami Miracle, and that really didn't mean anything in the long run.
I love it. 416. Anything on Tua following his performance? Like, how do you feel about him? I know how excited you are about the team and all, but Tua, I mean, being able to deliver, you know, that big comeback, coach put the ball in his hands. What's your take on Tua and after his performance?
These guys have kind of taken the words out of my mouth. It's like a great performance. It raises the bar. Obviously, now we have somewhere to look at, a baseline to look at, say you can do it. Like at the NFL level, you can hang with the big boys. So the only thing is we need to see it more consistently. This is just one game, and to be fair, it's only week 2, so we'll see what happens. Maybe it's not against Buffalo, who's one of the best defenses in the NFL, but you see the schedule we have coming up. If he can play really good football, he will show that he is the franchise quarterback. I'm not ready to anoint him as that just yet, just because, again, it's one game. You can't anoint a player after one game. That's just never a good thing to do. It's, to be honest, if you're analyzing the game of football, if you do that with anyone, then you'll have guys like Jameis Winston, who is clearly not that great, and you'll anoint him as a good player, right? So I think there are players who have good games. I just want to see this not just be a flash in the pan. I want it to be something that's drawn out. And to be honest, I think you see there with the blueprint that Mike McDaniel's kind of drawn up, you see it can continue. I think it is something that's definitely feasible for Tua Tagovailoa to do. So to me, it's a great start to a new offense, to a new scheme, to a new quarterback. But I definitely need to see it throughout the week. So while I'm very, very excited, and like Throw was saying, I've watched that game so many times in a row, just seeing Tua throw so many just nice throws. Like, I'll be honest, everyone looks at the touchdowns, obviously, but there's so many nice throws in there. He had 36 completions, which were just dimes, darts. The one thing for me that stood out to me, and this wasn't even the case in the Patriots game, I actually thought he was throwing with more velocity. You can call me a homer or whatever, but if you go back, even the first throw to Tyreek Hill, which was the interception, dude, there was some velo on that ball, which you love to see. And I think that's not even arm strength. I think that's more mechanics that have improved. So shout out to him on that. I'm not trying to say he's this big arm quarterback. I'm just saying there's clearly more on the ball. Like, you see the spin move on the pass rusher, on the Craycraft touchdown. Like, there's things that he just clearly wasn't doing before, which you like to see. So definitely laying the groundwork for something that could be way better than it is, but I just need to see it more consistently.
Right. Thread, do you have anything to add on Tua? I know the tweets were all there. I know you was hyping our boy up. These boys nailed it on the head on a lot of things. Do you have anything to add to it?
Just not too much. I just do want to say that I do want to see I know we were down big. I do want to see the passing attempts go down a lot more next game. And the reason why that kind of concerns me a lot is mainly because of the Chad Pennington syndrome that I grown to know. Chad Pennington's arm died at the end of the season. And Chad Pennington wasn't known to be a big arm quarterback. that kind of is in the back of my mind. Will we see his arm kind of die out if he's throwing 30 passes a game, 35 passes a game? If not, I mean, if it is, then we really got to get this run game. The run game was effective in spurts, but I just need to see a little more from the run game. And hopefully we can rely on that so that way we're not killing our guys' quarterback. I mean, killing our quarterback's arm at the end of the year. So that's the only thing that I do want to critique is maybe let's get this run game flowing a little bit better next game.
Yeah, no, that's actually a perfect segue of what I want to talk about next. So I noticed week 1, Chase Edmonds was the one that got the bulk of the carries. He had 12 carries. I think he had only 25 yards, if I'm not mistaken, week 1. Now, week 2, he only had 5 carries. He did, get that big run that put us in position to win the game. But Raheem Mostert actually led the attack. So he had 51 yards. I think it was 11 carries, if I'm not mistaken. But he had some nice runs. Me personally, I think Raheem Mostert should be the one getting the bulk of the carries. But I want to hear about you guys' thoughts on that. Having those two guys, 1 week, Chase Edmonds got 12 carries. The next, Raheem Mostert. JMV, how would you like the Dolphins offense to utilize these two running backs? Because we got to get this run game going.
No, I think and before I answer that question, I just want to go back to what everybody else was pointing out because they hit almost everything on the nose. The only thing I want to add with Tua and where I stand is it's the consistency. Like we've seen flashes between him from his first, I think, 23, 24 games. And you can go back to his rookie year. Like it's Cincinnati the second half, Kansas City the second half, Arizona, I don't want to say 4 quarters, but out of 60 minutes, 50 out of 60 minutes in the Arizona game. You had flashes in the Atlanta game where he did bring us back, even though he is part of the reason we fell back behind so far. Jacksonville, he had the drive that put us ahead. There's been flashes with Tua. There just hasn't been consistency. So that's where I stand with Tua. And as to your question, those two guys are running backs by committee. It depends on how the game is flowing and who we're playing against. Chase Edmonds is the better receiving back. He's shifty. I think we've all seen it in a Dolphins uniform, as well as if whoever followed him in Arizona and in their uniform, in the Cardinals uniform. So it depends on how the game is progressing, down in distance. But both I would like to see Raheem get more the bulk load of the carries, but I'm good with either guy back there. But there has to be consistency.
I kind of want to jump into that. I'm a big Raheem Mostert guy. Like that's one of my favorite players on the team. I'm gonna be real with you. I think Raheem is miles better than Chase Edmonds, and I want to see a bigger split in favor of Raheem. And let me tell you why. I love what Chase Edmonds does. He's a better pass catcher. He's good in the open space, but I'm not a fan of his vision. I feel like he doesn't hit the right holes at certain points. He doesn't fall forward enough for me. I just feel like Raheem has that special element, that it factor when it comes to being a running back. He just has a nose on what lane and what hole to hit, and he's kind of patient with how he goes about which hole he's going to hit. I'm a big Raheem guy, and I feel like as the season progresses, we're going to see that split kind of like go in favor of Raheem if he can stay healthy. I just feel like he's one of the premier running backs in the league. And I might sound like a homer. Bro, he averages 5 yards a pop, bro, when he runs the ball. He averaged damn near 5 yards a pop last game, bro. He just got it as a running back, bro. He just knows how to run the damn ball. So I'm curious to see how we can bring him along during the season. But I definitely feel like Raheem is miles better as a running back than Chase Edmonds is.
I got to jump in here just for Chase Edmonds, just because I'll say 2 things. One, obviously, we all know about the health. The one thing I will say is Raheem Mostert has he's way more familiar with the scheme than anyone, just because he's been with Mike McDaniel for so long, and it's a weird scheme. Everyone talks about how difficult it was to learn. Obviously, now they all know it, but it's clearly a weird scheme. It's not like the most common thing, the wide zone scheme, especially the way we run it. And I feel like Chase Edmonds' skill set, like I feel like if you're basically on skill, like Chase Edmonds is near there. He's a better pass walker. He's a better pass catcher. And I don't agree with the vision just because he averaged 5.5 yards per carry like last year or whatever. He's really efficient. Chase Edmonds is, especially when he was in Arizona. So I feel like I agree with you. Raheem Mostert should probably get more of the carries, but that's just because he knows the scheme. I don't know if it's a talent thing, just because Chase Edmonds has always been an efficient guy. He's always been a guy who averages more than 4.5 yards per carry. So I see what you're saying. But I think it's going to be a split just because, again, Mostert's health kind of limits him from going and being like a bell cow type back.
I just want to add on to that. Chase Edmonds, 5.5 yards per carry is a little deceiving because of the amount of big plays that he had in Arizona. Like, there's a lot of plays in Arizona, depending on their scheme. Those guys would run on second and long, and Chase Edmonds would break it for 40 yards, you know? So you had a lot of carries throughout the game that it was 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, and then boom, you break a 40-yard run. And at the end of the game, all of a sudden, you got that 5.5 yards per carry. And it's how it is with him. But, you know, to both of your points, he's a very effective pass catcher. You know, he runs a good route. He is a good blocker. But I agree with Threat that Mostert is the better running back. And he's the first and second down back, in my opinion. And Chase Edmonds would be the third down back unless it's third and short.
I want to say something real quick before you keep moving.
Go ahead.
While everybody makes good points, like, and I'm with Threat, like, Mostert's better. Yeah. But I'm also with 416. Like, he can be the like a bell cow. I think it has to stay a split. Most importantly, because, like, fam, Threat said that Edmonds don't fall forward enough. And for me, okay, but you know who don't fall forward at all? Myles Gaskin. Yeah. And that's what, like, Mostert staying healthy means Myles Gaskin stay off that field, bro. Like,
need it.
No, I'll deal with it. Like, they gotta split that. I rock with Mostert. I think he has the skill set to be like a 1K back, like, but he just can't, bro, because he's gonna get hurt. Like, it's just in his cards. And I ain't trying to see Gaskin. So keep that thing, you know, 50-50, 60-40, however you gotta do it, man. At least the snap count.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's gonna be a split, guys, because his speed is different. So it's go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying Gaskin's ass was inactive last game.
Thank God.
That boy is buried back there. And one last thing I want to say about the run game, bro. In every single run, I've just been watching it, bro. In every single run, except for like 2 of them this season, the toss play has been getting fucking smashed, bro. Yeah. What in the fuck is going on with the toss play, bro?
Well, the thing is I think they run the toss play a ton to Edmonds. I know they run it to Mostert too, but you talked about the vision threat. I don't think he has bad vision, but this, like you were talking about, Jay, like this is a completely new system for Edmonds. And bro, Mostert wears the C. He's been Mike McDaniel's friend for a long time now. Like, this dude doesn't just know the system. He probably knows it maybe better than anybody else on our team. Like that, it's just a little bit different. And Tua talks about Raheem a lot. A lot of the players talk about Raheem a lot. He is extremely well liked in the locker room. He wears the C, like I just mentioned. Like, the dudes respond a little bit differently to him than they do to Chase.
He's a captain?
And I'm pretty sure he's a captain. And I don't know like what it is about Raheem Mostert, but he always makes the first dude miss. I have no idea how he does it, but every single time the first dude's missing, if there's another dude that tackles him right afterward, it's what happens. But it's just what happens every time. I can't say the same thing about Edmonds. I think Edmonds in open space is ridiculous. And I think, you know, when we have those opportunities, like we did in the fourth quarter at the end of the game, he was the right back for that situation. But I'm also with you, man. We can't have Mostert get hurt. Myles Gaskin needs to stay off the field, and so Von Achman needs to do the same. We cannot go back to what we had, bro. We can't.
As to the toss too, I think as the season progresses, we're going to see I don't necessarily want to see them go away from the toss, but the tosses are very contingent on everybody picking up their assignment. And like, for example, when Edmonds got rocked on the toss, Ingold missed the block. He was late to the block, and that guy got rocked. So that it's very contingent on everybody being aware of you know where everybody is on the field and picking up their blockers. Because if not, we're not going to go anywhere. And but it's been getting killed.
I also think that San Fran, like, they fucked people up with that shit in the late in the season and in the playoffs. It was just something that, like, they were like harping on it. I know in the Green Bay game against San Fran, like, they ran that shit like 4 or 5 times, and like it was just something that wasn't really seen that often. So I think, like, you know what I'm saying, a new guy gets hired, like, so it means it's spreading. That teams are like locking in on that for sure. Like, so I think it's gonna be hard to like catch people napping with that toss play.
I think teams are locking in on it. And I also just think we're only in week 2, right? So the offensive linemen aren't that familiar with it. Chase Edmonds isn't that familiar with it. So we'll see it progress. Whether Chase Edmonds or Raheem Mostert, I fully expect the offensive line to keep getting better. They're all young guys, or they're just elite, like Teron Armstead, right? Like, even Connor Williams is still relatively young. He's 26 years old. So I definitely just want to see them keep progressing with that run blocking scheme.
Just to transition the offensive line real quick, since we were talking about the run game, I just want to throw this up to y'all. Like, do y'all think that Austin Jackson's getting this job back from Greg Little? Because I don't think so.
I was waiting until we got to the Buffalo.
I really
game
don't
to
think
go
he's
there.
done. And
Damn.
Greg
Hold on,
Little was doing
I'll wait.
his thing.
I'll
Wait,
wait to see how Greg Little performs here.
Yeah, save that thought, because I do want to talk about the line. Once we get into this, obviously it's Bills week now. We're 2-0. Buffalo Bills are 2-0. They're smacking teams left and right. They've been smacking us for a couple years now. They're coming into our crib. We're 2-0 right now. And now the injury report that came out today was a little bit interesting. Threat, talk about it.
Yeah, Doug. So if you could throw the Buffalo side up first, I just want to harp on some of these names that I'm seeing on the Buffalo injury on the injury report. Gabe Davis, he didn't play last game. He's their second best receiver. They're expecting a real breakout year for him. So, if he doesn't play, and their next guy up is really supposed to be Dawson Knox, who's also on the injury report. He was a DNP today. But mainly, dog, what I'm really focused on is that safety duo in the back. That safety, that whole secondary. You got Poyer, you got Hyde. I did see Dane Jackson on there because of the neck injury. I think Trey not gonna be playing. It's some big names on there. Ed Oliver was limited today. Jordan Phillips, you know how he's been giving us hell every time we've been playing Buffalo. It's some good names on that injury report for Buffalo. If there was ever a time that you needed to attack Buffalo, you're at home. They are clearly ailing early. Jump on them now, and they're ailing on the defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? So this is huge, 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 huge. And as you can clearly see, the Dolphins have some interesting names on the injury report. Obviously, the Armstead one is definitely vet rest. But the name that I did see, and it was on the other injury report, Xavier Howard is dealing with a groin injury. I don't know if that played a factor in that game because, boy, oh boy, Bateman gave that boy hell. Bateman might have caused a damn groin injury. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I don't think it's a hot take to say that was X's worst game as a pro. I don't think it's a hot take to say that.
No, I think Tampa Bay was worse this year. Tampa Bay was worse last year.
But I'm definitely interested to see, because if this secondary is without X, I mean, the whole season changes.
Yeah,
the whole season.
That's a fact. Even though Kohu's been balling, I mean that's going against Diggs. I mean, forget about it. JMV, I want to go to you. Following looking at that injury report, Buffalo's cornerbacks are not that good. Those safeties are the ones that are the real deal. So those two banged up. How you feeling about this matchup Sunday?
I don't think they're all going to miss Sunday. I think there's a couple of names in there that they just got rest. As you can see, the Bills just had a walkthrough. It wasn't really practice today. So I think it's something to keep an eye on. We still have the whole Thursday practice and Friday. If it comes to Friday and a lot of these names are still on there, then for those two safeties, most importantly, Matt Milano he actually, I don't think it said limited there for Matt. I think he was a full. Okay, but again, it was a walkthrough. A neck injury is a little serious. So I don't know if Matt Milano's going to play or not. We'll wait and see again Friday. That's the big one. And then if that secondary misses, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, bro, attack that secondary nonstop. If there's a time to go deep on Buffalo, this is the week. If those two miss, those guys are a problem. That's one of the best combinations in all of football. They've been a problem for the Dolphins for a long time. They're great at baiting opposing teams' quarterbacks. I don't know if you see the list of, I want to say like the last 18 or 19 games that the Buffalo Bills have played, including Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, aside from the playoffs, they have pounded on quarterbacks. Nobody has over 100 passer rating. Every quarterback has turnovers, and if they don't have turnovers, they're under 50% completion percentage. They're throwing for $150. It's basically like, for example, Ryan Tannehill with the Titans. Derrick Henry was running crazy. They weren't passing the ball efficiently. Quarterbacks just don't play well against this Buffalo defense, who just added Von Miller to that team, among others that were added as well. But that's a scary defense.
Damn right. Kendall, your thoughts on keys to victory against Buffalo?
I mean, Alex kind of took the leading point, but like whether you ask, like, does like Austin Jackson get his job back, this game is gonna determine that.
I agree.
If Tua's blind side is locked the fuck up and he has to see Von Miller, I'm about to say Greg Miller for some reason, or Gregory Rousseau, it doesn't matter because it means that he's gonna be one-on-one, or he might get help with Von, but like what Russo means he's gonna be one-on-one. And I think that he might keep that job. Because like, bro, like if they could give him time to throw the ball against Buffalo and just leave it up to Tua to like pick his spots to distribute the ball, like that's gonna be major. In terms of winning the game, the keys, bro, depending on your religion and who you pray to. No, just playing. I ain't gonna go there. We gotta, hey, bro, like I'm at first, Tua was the main one. I that it was like number one on the list to like show me something. But number two, it was Boyer. And Tua did his thing last week. Boyer is number one on that list. Bro, you just got steamrolled by the Ravens. Like, I don't care what the result was, like how we got there. Like they got their ass worked, like on defense. So it's like, bro, especially and for me, if Gabe Davis alone doesn't play, that is enough for me to say, Boyer, do something, bro. It's Boyer and that defensive line who has not done anything. I mean, Jalen Phillips, Raekwon Davis, Emmanuel Ogba, Sealer, Wilkins, Melvin Ingram, like as a
Just
whole.
for clarity, the Dolphins pass rush is ranked 31st in the NFL in terms of pressures.
Bro,
Just
you
add
don't
on to
even
this
have
point.
to. You don't even have to tell me, bro.
Yeah,
like
you just watch.
Yeah, and when I told people in our fan chat like that that defensive line ain't what y'all think it is, a lot of people push back on that, and I'm just like, here we are. Like they didn't get pressure on the Patriots and Mac Jones, so it's like they need to do something. That defensive line got to come to play, and Boyer need to come up with something to hold it down. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, JMV. I just look at that shoe rack, bro, and I'm just like, damn. Imagine if that shit falls on my
Oh no, it's not. It's not put against the wall.
Okay.
There's no way that's falling.
Alex, anything to add to that for keys to the victory and how you're feeling against Buffalo this weekend?
The keys to me, Tua is going to have to put up 30 plus again. Let's just be real. We all want our defense to ball out. We all want Boyer to do it, but we know he's not going to do it. We know Josh Allen's dropping 35. We just know. So we're going to have to win another shootout, and I hate to say it, but I really don't know what the defensive line is doing. We can't get pressure on anybody. It's a big concern, and the O-line cannot let this Buffalo defensive line do what it's done to the Rams and the Titans. The Rams and the Titans have been abused by the Buffalo defensive line. These dudes are rushing 3 and getting high pressure rate. I mean, not even 4 sometimes, man. They're rushing 3, and your quarterback is in a hurry, in a panic. Ryan Tannehill is shitting his pants. Like, bro, we gotta figure it out. I don't know if it means leaving Ingold in there as an extra blocker, if you got to take extra precautions. Like that, it's not a problem. You if we have to just admit that we got to leave somebody extra in there to hang with someone, because I'm scared of Gregory Rousseau right now, man. And again, him and Phillips were in the same draft class. I'm a big Jalen Phillips fan. They shared the same field. Bro, I need it from Jalen Phillips, bro. I need it from Jalen Phillips this week, especially. Ogba got the sack against Mac Jones week 1. And to be honest with you, I've got more faith in Ogba. And again, we kind of know what Emmanuel Ogba is. He's never going to be necessarily the like 12 and a half, 13 and a half sack guy, even though we'd love it. That's supposed to be Jalen Phillips. And that man has been MIA the last 2 games.
I just want to add before the next person goes, I kind of disagree in needing it from Jalen Phillips. Specifically, I need it from the middle.
Oh yeah, the middle,
because
too.
I don't care about outside rush against Josh Allen. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't think it matters at all, because those are the smaller guys, and he could break out of those. Like he could get around the edge. Like I don't want Phillips rushing too hard that he gets out and losing contain. I need that rush up the middle. I need pressure up the middle.
Christian Wilkins wants that contract, bro. Let's get it.
Yeah, that's where we could. That would help us more. Pressure up the middle. That's what I need.
That's a fact, because he can move in that pocket too, and that's the last thing you need on Sunday. Before I go to you, Jay, everyone, thanks for coming here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Please like the video. We really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. So, Jay, what about you, man? How you feeling about Buffalo, and do you have any keys to victory that are different from the rest of the guys?
All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit different with this one. If you are going to this game, be loud, be proud. I'm sick of seeing so many Buffalo fans come to Miami for that game. I don't live in Miami personally, but dude, if you're gonna be there, be loud, be proud. I want to be a team because now we have the roster for it. I want to be a team where teams are scared to come to Miami. It's hot down there. I just feel like teams don't fear. It's not like a 12th man. It's not like we're going to Buffalo and it's gonna be loud. I want teams to fear and be like note it when they're going through their schedule. Oh shit, we got to go to Miami. That's what I want it to feel like. So if we're going, I know it's a lot of people who got money down there. Don't be too proud to cheer, man. Cheer for your team. Go crazy. So that's one thing I'll say. The other thing for the on the field thing, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a run game just because the Buffalo Bills defense line is pretty good. But I think you definitely need to keep the run game going, keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, and that'll be huge. Like we said, keeping to his pass attempts, not to he threw 50 times almost against the Ravens. So I think you want to keep that down as well. And for me, it's you got to take advantage of these corners being hurt. Obviously, if the two safeties play over top, they are two fantastic safeties, probably the best safety duo in the entire NFL. So you got to take advantage of these corners. So like everyone said, Tua's got to ball out, and to do that, he needs the offensive line to ball out. So it's kind of just a chain reaction. So if we can get that run game going, I think that sets the whole thing up.
Listen, they gotta make people fear coming to Hard Rock Stadium. I mean, I'm tired of seeing it as well. All the Buffalo fans going, you got Patriot fans coming in here. Sometimes you got these nasty Jet fans, even though they end up with a loss. But make people fear coming to Hard Rock Stadium. Have some dog in you. You got the dog in Tyreek Hill on offense now. The way he is, I mean, him coming back in that game, that already showed enough. That it's yo, this type of stuff is infectious now. Let's let that carry into the fans. Let's make that energy just rock in Hard Rock Stadium. And I think it's going to be a lit ass environment. I ain't going to lie, but I want to do something.
Real quick, one last thing about the Buffalo game.
I want to add something too after you.
Yeah.
If we do plan on winning this Buffalo game, somebody on defense who hasn't been on defense has to step up. And some of the people I'm looking at in particular, Jerome Baker, dog. We paid a lot of money for Jerome Baker. Is he even on the field this season? Where's Jerome Baker? I've been looking for Jerome Baker to have an impact, and I haven't seen it yet. We know he's going to take shots at Nick Needham. I need Nick Needham to put his big boy pants on. He's going to have to put his big boy pants on, bro. Seriously speaking. So those two guys I'm really looking for, but more Jerome Baker because I have a feeling he's going to be the one spying on Josh Allen, and they might have him on the field a little bit more because of his speed. Even though we got Duke Riley there as well, I just don't know if he can handle the size of Josh Allen. But I think this is a big game for Jerome Baker, and I need to see his presence being felt on the field this game.
JMV?
Just to add on to what everybody is, I'm going to take a different approach. I know somebody mentioned, I think Alex mentioned he needs to put up 35. I think the only way Miami can really sneak out a win here, it has to be complementary football from all facets of the game. The special teams, we need help from the special teams. You got to give the offense good field position. Not necessarily saying, we need a special team score, which would be nice, but they need to consistently have good field position. Thomas Mostert. Yeah, Tyreek Hill. This would be the game. Thomas Mostert, he's been punting well, which we haven't been accustomed to as Dolphins fans over the past couple of years. He needs to continue that. Our playmakers on defense, which hopefully he plays, Javon Holland, et cetera, they need to come up with turnovers. Josh Allen is not going to score under 30 points against the Dolphins. It is what it is, man. Their offense is very explosive. They will score. So if our playmakers can come up with a couple of turnovers, give the Dolphins offense some good field position, it'll be a big part to possibly a win. And then the run game, time of possession, we need to dominate the time of possession, bro. Josh Allen needs to get as little time as possible with the ball. That entire Buffalo Bills offense, the Dolphins have to dominate. We need to run the ball efficiently. If we don't run the ball efficiently, there's no chance. We're not beating the Bills.
I like that perspective. This kind of ties into my next question that I want to ask. I want to go around the room before we get to scoring predictions and head out of here. If you guys had to choose an X factor, right? Just one player that's not named Tua or not named Tyreek Hill. I want to go around the room, one player and why you choose him to be the X factor. I'll start with my guy Kendall on this one.
Ooh, I mean, that you made it kind of easy coming to me first because it's got to be Jalen Waddle. Because, I mean, Tre'Davious White's not playing. Dame Jackson, who I really don't know too much about, neck got messed up. I know Kyer Elam was not starting over the 6th-round rookie, and he was a 1st-round pick. So you telling me that you just finna have somebody who ain't probably as good as the Ravens corners, I would say. But Ravens, they had problems with miscommunication. The Buffalo Bills not gonna have that. So I think Jalen Waddle, this is a game because we know Tyreek Hill getting that attention. The Buffalo Bills had their season ended by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and Tyreek Hill, like specifically Tyreek Hill gave them hell. Like that's the one person I think every team, but more importantly them, because they've been knocking on the door of a Super Bowl, and Tyreek Hill has been in their way on them Chiefs teams. So Jalen Waddle, bro, it's you showed out, like, but you do it again. You feel me? It's like we know he'll getting that attention. Like he is a problem on offense, and he showed that. And this is a big game for him. This is a type of game like his name can just go up in like the receiver rankings of like best receivers in the league. So that's who I would say the X factor is. Put fear in their heart, like keep getting that yak, man. You know what I'm saying? It's yak boys. You already know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the targets are going to be there because we were concerned about it week 1, but those targets were there week 2. Boy had 19. Alex, your X factor, not counting Tua, no Tyreek Hill, and no Jalen Waddle either. Who you got?
I'll actually go with Mike Gesicki here because he's getting a lot of attention right now from that catch that he got. And I'll be honest with you, like I'm not ready to be like, oh, he's back. We're finally doing something. But I really like what he did last game. And if I agree with you that Waddle needs to have another game like this, but he had such a good game last week. I just have a feeling that the Bills are going to – I don't think there's a way to take them both out of the game or try to slow either of them down. Like, I think it's literally impossible. I think even if you double Tyreek, he can't take out of the game. But Mike Gesicki, let's get like 6 catches this week. Let's make them respect you as well. Like, if you get put up on a linebacker, especially a backup linebacker, if you're up against Edmonds, if you're up against a hurt Milano – like, you got to go make a play. And when we get to the red zone, it's got to be touchdowns, not field goals against Buffalo. And they did a great job of that last week. But there were a lot of 3rd downs in the red zone, right? And we talked about how it was great how many, touchdowns Tua threw on 3rd down. That's not going to happen every time. But we got to make sure that we get touchdowns in the red zone, not field goals, especially when you get the opportunity. So I'm looking at Mike Gesicki because even if he's not the greatest blocker, if he's not the greatest whatever route runner, doesn't get the separation, if his one job on this team is when you get down to the red zone and everyone's looking at Tyreek and everyone's going to start looking at Waddle eventually too because we feed him in the red zone. People are eventually going to be like, we got to find a way here. Mike, be the guy, one-on-one coverage. If you're paired up against a linebacker or safety, make your play, man. It's time.
Let me just jump in here. I just feel like the only way he's going to see a lot of the field is if we're down 14 is clearly passing, just because I feel like we're going to need those extra blockers. We're going to have a guy like Durham Smythe then just to block. But I agree with you, man. Mike Gesicki does need to have a big game.
Yeah, I mean, 4 for 41 and a touchdown. That was big time. We needed it. So if
if Cedric doesn't play, Mike Gesicki is going to get a lot of play in the slot. So it'll open up a route for him in your guys' point.
You think so? A lot of
Cedric, if
I don't know.
Cedric
They
doesn't
throw
play,
Craycraft in there a lot.
I saw Alec Ingle in that slot.
I saw Alec Ingle too. I saw that.
I mean, when we get down into the red zone, if Cedric Wilson's is not playing and we get down in the red zone, as soon as we cross the 20, I think you're going to see a lot of Mike Gesicki in the slot. It'll open up an avenue for the Dolphins to play him, is what I'm trying to say. Because I agree with Jay, Smite needs to get a lot of playing time in this game because Tua's going to need all the help.
They've been putting a lot of River Craycraft in there too. Like
I like her.
Practice squad. We caught that touchdown, and he was in a couple of other times.
They're going to elevate him every game because he's technically still on the practice squad. They're just going to elevate him every single game.
He gets open, man. Like that's the one thing I got to give him credit for. Like he will get open. He's a pure slot guy. He's that standard white dude in the slot. But that's what we need, man. And I'm sure Wes Welker's got a soft spot for him. So when it's they got to throw him in the game and stuff like that. But hey, man, whatever it is, say every cliche. First guy in, last guy out. Whatever the hell you want to say. Sneaky athletic.
I was going to say.
Listen, man, he is. He breaks out of his routes really, really well.
Real hard worker he is.
Yeah, he's in there
First
every
guy
day, man.
In, last guy out.
So, listen, give me Mike Gesicki to have a big game. But if that slot thing opens up for Cedric Wilson, I think they're going to go with Craycraft more than anybody else.
Interesting. Thray, I'll go to you next. X factor for the game Sunday.
I'm glad my dog Kendall brought up Waddle because that's truly the real X factor. And I'm glad Alex also brought up Mike. But I will say my X factor's got to be Greg Little, dog. Because at the end of the day, if he not blocking, them throws is not reaching Jalen Waddle, and they not reaching Mike Gesicki either. He has to step up. He has a huge assignment. The whole O line has to is getting a huge assignment this week. We just have to be able to run the ball efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Get some things flowing, some time of possession, like someone stated earlier in the show. Greg Little has a huge assignment because I'm not worried about Armstead's side at all, but I'm very worried about what kind of blitzes and what kind of shit they're gonna throw at Greg Little. I'm very nervous about that. So if he can hold his own, we might have some. Austin Jackson might not get his back, but this is a big game. This is an X Factor game for Greg Little.
416J, your X Factor?
All right, so for me, I'm gonna go Chase Edmonds. I just think if he's gonna get the dump off, if there's pressure, I think he's the better pass blocker of the running backs. Obviously, again, further in the season, I think running wise, it will be Raheem Mostert. I just feel like Chase Edmonds in this game, like in particular, I feel like again he's just gonna get those attempts where pressure's on. Tua needs to dump it off, security blanket, especially if Gesicki's not in the game. You can dump it off to Chase Edmonds. Edmonds can help in the blocking game, so we'll see on that. Just need to give a shout on the defensive side, man. Xavier Howard needs to ball out, dude. We're seeing what Stephon Diggs is doing. Xavier Howard didn't have his greatest game last week. I think we can all agree on that. But we all know he's a premium cornerback in this league, and we really need him to shadow Stephon Diggs because if Stephon Diggs is on an X, I am decently confident. If Stephon Diggs is on any other corner, I'm terrified. Like, I think he's going for a touchdown every play because this guy is so talented. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the entire league. So give me Xavier Howard, but give me Chase Edmonds on offense.
JMV?
I'm gonna piggyback off of what 416J said, and I'm not just gonna say Chase Edmonds. I'm saying both running backs, Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds. As I said, the only way we're gonna win this game, really, aside from complementary football, is we need to dominate the time of possession. I'm not talking about like 31-29, 30, like it needs to be like 35-25. We need to really dominate the time of possession. We need long drives, and the only way for that to happen is the run game to be established throughout. And yes, our blockers, they need to block well. You know, if there's no holes, they're not going anywhere. The running back. So for me, it's both Mostert and Edmonds. That run game, they were better in week 2 than they were in week 1. Obviously, because of the way the game was flowing, we had to traditionally pass more than we would like. So we couldn't get a lot of the running game going. This week from the start, it needs to get going.
Hey, if all of these X factors come through, I'm feeling damn good about Sunday. But
yeah,
hey, you know, things obviously have to happen. Good luck ain't always on our side, even though it was last week. But let's go to our last thing we want to talk
about. Talking about that before we transition, 70% chance of rain. I'm just saying. Talking about bad luck.
In Buffalo, Threat pointed out that Buffalo run game really ain't the best. Mm-hmm. So it's like, and I like our run defense. I'm not gonna hold you. Like Lamar broke a big one, but besides that, like,
so in hypothetically speaking, it does rain throughout the game. You think that goes to our advantage or towards Buffalo?
Towards Buffalo, bro.
I think it goes towards Buffalo.
We need perfect conditions. I need dudes not slipping out of routes. I need Tua. Like,
I heard he was training in Maryland. No,
like I want to see if Tua can throw in the rain. I know his trainer was saying they went down to Maryland, right, or whatever, and they were sticking his hands in like in ice baths or whatever to practice the rain throws.
They were sticking up boy hands in pussy.
But if he needs to, I don't want this game to be the game that we got to find out if Tua can throw in the rain. You feel me? I don't want this game to be the game. I hope it rains after 4:00, like we were talking about in the chat, because to be honest with you, I think Buffalo's going to be Buffalo no matter what. I don't think they care what the conditions are. That's what they're used to. I don't think their run game's great, like we've been mentioning, but
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we're playing Houston, man. Then bring on the run game or bring on the rain game. And when we're playing a team like Houston, then we'll figure out if Tua's got it. In this game,
I saw Buffalo go into New England in a hurricane. And not even a hurricane because there was a lot of snow. It was cold as hell. And Buffalo was just straight passing the ball while New England did not dare to pass the ball. So I don't think the rain phases them at all, personally.
All right, let's just say it's a fair playing field. Let's say that we get lucky, no rain. We got that beautiful sunshine in South Florida. Jay, scoring predictions. Last thing before we wrap up, what you got?
All right. It's gonna be lower score. I don't even know it's gonna be lower scoring because there's no
Lower?
corners and no defensive backs. I don't even know. I'm just thinking because the defense. I to be honest, I didn't have anything planned. Like it's gonna give me. All right, 24-20 Dolphins.
Wow, way to start us off. Damn. All right, Threat, you're next.
I ain't gonna lie. I got another shootout. I just think Buffalo's gonna come in there. Not all the injuries that we saw in the injury report, but a couple of them are gonna be dinged up, so they're not gonna be 100%. Our defense is obviously taking a step back, so I got 31-28 Dolphins. Tua 2-minute drill to end the game on a field goal for the Dubski.
Hey,
Colonel Sanders out here, baby.
Damn. Listen, I wasn't expecting this. All right, we got 2-0 in favor of the Dolphins in this crew. All right, JMV. Hey, are you rolling with the Dolphins? What you got?
I have a high scoring game too, but I had 34-31. Dolphins winning in the field goal. Very similar to what Threat said. But I don't think it's a game-winning field goal. I think it's a touchdown.
Kendall, talk to me.
Here it comes. 50-6.
Nah, let Alex go. Let Alex go. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let Alex go. Let Alex go.
We'll say, let's save Kendall for last. Alex, what do you say? 51-0 Dolphins?
I'll be honest with you. This is going to be a shootout, but I don't want to say it, but Josh Allen is 7-1 against our team, and our defense scared the shit out of me last game. We don't know how to get pressure.
Weren't you the one that said Baltimore winning God knows how many years in a row gave you confidence?
I told you it did give me confidence, bro. It 100% did. The rain thing factor scares me. Greg Little scared the rain scares me. I don't think y'all are seeing what's going on right now with the Buffalo.
See you at Christmas, boy.
Like, bro, the Buffalo Bills defensive line is rushing 3, and people are shitting themselves. I cannot trust Greg Little and Gregory Rousseau right now. So I'm going to say it's a shootout, 100%, but I got 31-28 Buffalo.
Oh, damn. I was not expecting that. Kendall.
Nah, fuck that. It's going to be 31-20. The Buffalo Bills are going to get the win. It just is what it is. I'll be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm still... Hey, they got to show
win-win. It's a win-win for you.
You'll never catch me
I think it's going to be a close game. I just think
you'll never find me.
What that was 4-1-6?
I said you'll never catch me like picking against the Dolphins. Like, there are games, especially like this game. Like, there's a game next time we play Buffalo. It's after 3 road games. I'll be honest. Even though in my heart I don't think we're gonna win, I'll still have us winning because you'll just never see me say it. But it'll definitely be closer. So we'll see what happens there.
I'm taking into account all the injuries that Buffalo has, and if that secondary really is out, then I get Dolphins in the shootout.
Oh, I should not have just said what I just said because now I'm gonna pick Buffalo. People are gonna come back to this.
Fuck it, I'll be wrong later.
Hey, man, my prediction, I'm going with the Dolphins winning 31-28. I think it's going to be a shootout, honestly. I think Tua pulls through at the end. I mean, I was going to say Buffalo before this. I was saying Buffalo before the season, but after what I just saw last week, man, listen, I'm on the hype train, man. So we'll see.
I like that Kendall said, I will be wrong. Now I might be wrong. I will be wrong later.
No, if they win, I'm wrong. Fuck it. I'm with it.
Yo, Tua throws 3 touchdowns, no picks, like 250 yards, bro. You will not want to see me on this show. You will not want to catch me on this show, bro.
I'm Captain Optimism, man, and I think Tua's going to look good in this game, man. But, like, Buffalo is just a few years ahead of us with this thing, man. Like,
that is funny though.
We are like Buffalo is in like year 3 of Josh Allen and Diggs and McDermott figuring this shit out. That defense has been playing together for a long time now. I'm not saying we won't get there. Like, I think we'll give them a run for their money at home, and then I think we're gonna have a great year. I think we're making the playoffs. I think we might be the best wild card team in the AFC.
I think it's gonna be close, which says something.
I do 100%, which is a massive step forward because we've been getting smoked every single time by them the last 2 years. So if you keep it close, that's fine with me. But I can't say that we're over the hump now because Buffalo right now is the best team in the NFL. So we beat them. We're talking about
Kansas
City to being the best.
It's Kansas City. It's Kansas City.
I won't lie. I wouldn't. Buffalo has the makeup of a team that can go undefeated. If there was ever, I haven't felt this way about a team because they're so good on both sides of the ball. I haven't felt this way about a team. They can actually go undefeated, bro. And I'm actually worried about that, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And if we beat them, we beat Buffalo.
Alex, to add on to Alex, is it really saying that this team got over the hump if you're only confident because of how long and extensive the Buffalo Bills injury report is?
Is it
It's
really
not
a
necessarily
shootout?
saying we got over the hump if we're only confident because of the amount of injuries they have.
Is it really a shootout? Hold on. Is it really a shootout if Buffalo scoring 28 or 34?
Well, I think 34 is a
34-28
very high scoring game. Well,
Buffalo scoring 34 is a shootout. You feel me?
I mean, they scored 41. What did they score week 1?
They
41,
got like
right?
35, didn't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
something
they
like that.
ran it up on some. And again, the Rams don't look like the same, and the Titans just laid down and died. So, like, I understand that the Titans aren't that team anymore. But like the Buffalo Bills right now, or the Kansas City Chiefs, are the best teams in the National Football League.
I just want to just go toe to toe with them, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just go toe-to-toe. I'm going to be happy with the result, but again, if Mike McDaniel was like in year 2 and Tyreek were in year 2 or 3 of this, like I think we will get to that level where we're going to beat Buffalo, and I think we will get there. But right now, man, I just like it is so early for us in the process for us to have that showing last week against the Ravens. Like we are ahead of schedule. I did not think we would look this good this fast, if I'm being honest with you. But I mean, the Ravens still hung 38 on us. Lamar had 400 in total yards and 4 touchdowns. And I love Lamar, top 5 in the game. But I think Allen is probably slightly better in some ways, like at least. And again, Josh Allen, especially against us, just turns it up, man. 7-1. We weren't even beating this dude in his rookie year when he was ass. We weren't beating this dude.
Now you tripping. I saw his only loss against us. I was there.
But again, that's what I'm saying. So it's 7-1. Like it's tough for me to say that we're going to do it. And as much as I want to say, like, listen, Buffalo's been unchallenged. They've been unmatched this year. Buffalo knows who we are. They're hearing all the talk right now too. They're not going to come in here and underestimate us, in my opinion. Especially since we got Tyreek Hill. Kendall, you hit on like they know Tyreek. Tyreek keeps them up at night, man. So give me I don't know. Give me Buffalo 31-28. I think they'll keep it close, but it's going to be tough.
All right, well, we'll see how it goes. Everybody make sure you tune into the post-game stream following the Dolphins game against the Bills. Hopefully the Dolphins start off 3-0 and beat the Buffalo Bills. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for tuning in. Play that music, y'all.
Touchdown, Miami!